What if I told you that the world you experience every day, the joy, the pain, the chaos, the calm, doesn't actually come from outside you, but from within your own mind? Imagine waking up and realizing that no matter what happens around you, you hold the power to shape how it affects you. That power lies in your thoughts. The Stoics believe that mastering your thoughts is the key to mastering your life. Because when you control your mind, you don't just react to the world, you shape it. The foundation of Stoic philosophy rests on one powerful idea: that our thoughts are the source of our experience, not the external events themselves. Most people live as if the outside world is in full control of their emotions, believing that success brings happiness, failure causes despair, insults demand anger, and hardships justify misery. But the Stoics saw the world differently. They realized that between every external event and our emotional reaction to it, there is a space, a moment of choice. And in that space lies our true power. It is not what happens to us that shapes our lives, but how we choose to interpret and respond to it. This is why Epictetus said, "It's not things that upset us, but our judgment about things." A Stoic trains their mind to pause, to reflect, to challenge their automatic reactions. They learn to ask, is this thought helping me or harming me? Is this belief rooted in truth or fear? Slowly, they begin to build a fortress of reason and resilience within their own mind. And as that inner fortress grows stronger, the chaos of the outer world begins to lose its grip. Control your thoughts, and you begin to control your emotions. Control your emotions, and you begin to control your actions. And when you control your actions, you begin to shape the very direction of your life. Controlling your thoughts is not a one-time decision. It's a lifelong discipline, a daily practice that requires patience, self-awareness, and an unwavering commitment to inner clarity. In a world filled with distractions, noise, and opinions constantly pulling us in different directions, the ability to govern your own mind becomes a rare and powerful skill. The Stoics understood that the mind, left unchecked, becomes a wild force, reactive, impulsive, and easily swayed by emotions or external chaos. But through practice, one can learn to step back from the storm, to observe thoughts as they arise, and to choose which ones deserve attention and which ones must be let go. This doesn't mean suppressing how you feel. It means understanding that you are not your feelings, and you are certainly not your fears. You are the observer behind them, the thinker behind the thoughts. Imagine the strength of someone who, when insulted, does not react with anger, but with calm detachment. Or someone who, in the face of uncertainty, does not spiral into anxiety, but anchors themselves in reason and principle. That level of control doesn't come from pretending the world is easy. It comes from realizing that while the world is often harsh and unpredictable, your response to it never has to be. This kind of mental strength is forged in silence, in reflection, in the deliberate training of the mind to serve you, not sabotage you. And with each thought you master, you move one step closer to mastering your world. True control over your thoughts begins with understanding just how deeply your mental habits are tied to your perception of reality. Every belief you hold, every narrative you tell yourself about who you are, what you're capable of, what other people think, and what your future holds, shapes the lens through which you see the world. Most people never question these stories. They simply accept them as truth. But a Stoic knows that every thought must be examined, like a soldier standing guard at the gate of the mind. Is this thought grounded in logic or emotion? Is it serving my growth or feeding my fears? This process demands ruthless honesty with yourself. It's not easy to admit when your thinking is flawed or when your suffering is self-created. But this is where real transformation begins. Instead of blaming others, you look inward. Instead of complaining about circumstances, you ask yourself what you can control. And over time, this shift in focus changes everything. You stop wasting energy on things outside your influence and invest it where it matters most: your mindset, your choices, your character. Even pain becomes a teacher. Even setbacks become signals. When your inner dialogue is shaped by wisdom rather than fear, the world outside can no longer shake your foundation. You become calmer in chaos, still in the noise, steady in uncertainty. The storms of life will continue, but you will not be carried away by them. You will stand firm, Because your strength is no longer borrowed from comfort or success. It comes from within. And once you reach that point, your thoughts don't just shape your experience. They shape your destiny. Reaching a state where your thoughts no longer control you, but are instead guided by you, is not a destination. It is a lifelong journey of mastery, reflection, and inner work. It requires you to become an active participant in the shaping of your own mind. Most people live reactively, bouncing from one emotion to the next, letting their moods rise and fall with circumstances, blindly believing everything their mind tells them. But the Stoic path demands something radically different. It asks you to slow down and watch your thoughts like a disciplined guardian, not with judgment, but with clarity. You start to notice the patterns, the fear that always appears before a new challenge, the insecurity that whispers in moments of comparison, the anger that flares when things don't go your way. And instead of obeying those thoughts, you begin to question them. Where did they come from? Are they based on truth or assumption? Are they helping me move forward, or are they holding me back? This level of introspection is uncomfortable at first. It reveals hard truths about your mental habits, your conditioned responses, and the illusions you've accepted as facts. But it also unlocks something powerful, the ability to rewrite the script. You learn to replace the voice of doubt with reason, to challenge fear with logic, to confront suffering with meaning. You no longer try to control everything around you, because you realize that the only true control you ever had was over how you think, and from that, how you act. The world doesn't have to change for you to feel peace. People don't have to agree with you for you to stay calm. Outcomes don't have to go your way for you to remain grounded. This mental independence, this inner stability, is what the Stoics pursued. It is what Marcus Aurelius meant when he said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." And the strength is not loud or aggressive. It is quiet, patient, unshakable. It gives you the ability to lead yourself through life with purpose, regardless of what happens around you. You become your own anchor in the storm, your own compass when the path is unclear. And once you realize that you can control the quality of your thoughts, shaping them with intention, directing them with wisdom, you stop being a victim of circumstance. You become the author of your inner world, and through that, you begin to reshape the outer. When you learn to control your thoughts, you no longer depend on the world to bring you peace. You create it within yourself. You begin to realize that true freedom isn't found in changing your circumstances, but in mastering your response to them. You stop chasing approval, fearing failure, or reacting to every challenge with anxiety or anger. Instead, you develop a calm center, a grounded mind that can withstand the highs and lows of life with grace. The storms may still come, the world may remain uncertain, but your inner world becomes steady, unshaken. Because in choosing your thoughts, you've chosen your freedom. You've taken back the power to shape your life, not through control of the outside, but through mastery of the inside.